So today I'm not going to share you any PPT. I'm going to write something. I'm going to draw the graphs. Yes, if you are having, no, it's better you draw with me the graphs. Okay. So let me start with acceleration. Acceleration, there is a small concept which I need to explain you. I'll explain you that first. Speed, velocity, acceleration. Let's start now. Okay. I'm not going to share any PPT. I'm going to write from today. Okay. Let's start. You can stop me if you have any doubt.
And
but
this
no,
is the whiteboard.
Yes, Shefali, this is the whiteboard. Okay. So before going further, you should have a clear idea of what is acceleration. So I'm going to use some small fonts. Please kindly bear with me. Okay. So whenever I'm talking about acceleration, I want to ask you something. Shubhasri, unmute yourself and define acceleration.
Sugar
Quickly.
free.
Shubhasri, unmute yourself and define acceleration. Make it fast.
Who is sugar free?
Shubhasri.
Oh.
Shubhasri, make it fast. Are you there?
Yes, ma'am, there.
Quickly, Shubhasri. Can I answer? Okay, Aditya, answer. What happened?
Ma'am,
can I?
Ma'am, can I?
Yes, mute yourself.
क्लास कोड क्रिएट करो, पासवर्ड डाल, लिमिटेड आवर नो करो.
Creating lot of disturbance here. Please.
एक क्लास कोड खेलूंगा.
Laksh, please mute yourself.
क्रिएट करो, पासवर्ड डाल.
Call your names out. Upright, answer.
Ma'am, acceleration is the rate of change of velocity.
Okay, I will draw a picture. I have a car
क्रिएट करो
here.
जल्दी.
Please mute, please.
ठीक है.
Laksh, please, Laksh.
हाँ, क्लास कोड का.
Ma'am, you can mute him if you want, ma'am.
I will mute.
ठीक है. कौन जाएगा? हाँ, लिमिटेड आवर.
Ma'am, there's a
Kirti ma'am.
Yes, Upright.
Ma'am, basically acceleration is velocity, but then when the object moves in a different direction,
Yes.
when it
Up-
changes the direction.
Exactly 4 examples. You try to tell me the difference. Give me 10 seconds, okay? A car is moving with a velocity of 30 kilometers per hour. Yes, this is my, no, please don't draw on the screen, please. Yes, a car is moving with a velocity of 30 kilometers per hour throughout its journey. I'll quickly tell the names, you'll quickly unmute and answer. I don't want any disturbance from now. Yes, a car is moving with 30 kilometers per hour. Tarun, unmute and answer what is the acceleration of this car. Okay.
Ma'am, how much time does it take to reach its final destination?
Okay, how much? I
Time
told
does it?
per hour, so it means per 1 hour.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, yes, can you answer? What is the
Ma'am,
acceleration?
I guess it's 1/2, ma'am.
No, the acceleration of this car is 0 because the car is not changing its velocity. Where is the question of acceleration here? That is the reason whenever any question is asked in physics, the main trick lies in understanding the question. The car is not changing the velocity, only there is a question of acceleration. In this case, the acceleration will be 0. I'll be giving you one more example now. Okay, car moving, try to understand these examples very carefully. Okay, car is moving with the same velocity 30 kilometers per hour. Yes, initially it was moving in this way, later it has turned right, later it has turned left. Now tell me, this car has any acceleration? Tell me.
no.
Yes,
Just say return to the same point.
yes. Then you keep this example on hold. I'll give you 2 more examples and again come back to this example. Okay, a car is moving with a velocity of 10 kilometers per hour, 10 kilometers in first hour, 10 kilometers in second hour. Yes, In third hour also it is moving at a velocity of 30 kilometers per hour. Yes. Now we are saying acceleration is 0. Okay. I will take one more example. 10 kilometers per hour, 20 kilometers per hour, 30 kilometers per hour. Okay. So now does this car has any acceleration?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Apraita. This car has acceleration. Tell me if it has uniform acceleration or non-uniform acceleration.
Ma'am, uniform.
Non-uniform
Non-uniform.
acceleration.
Ma'am, uniform.
Uniform,
Uniform.
because each kilometer is going, each hour is going 10 kilometers. more.
Yes, for each hour the increase in velocity is 10 kilometers per hour. It is increasing uniformly. 10 to 20, difference is 10. 20 to 30, 10. When the change in velocity is constant, when the change in velocity is uniform, next it will be 40 kilometers per hour. So in these cases, you call the body is traveling with uniform acceleration. This is one point. Now one more I'll tell you. Initially it was 10 kilometers per hour. Now it is 30 kilometers per hour. Now it is 47 kilometers per hour. Yes. Next in the next road, it has become 61 kilometers per hour. Now tell me, what do you tell about the acceleration of this car? Yes.
Non-uniform acceleration.
Well, the car is moving with non-uniform acceleration because the change in velocity is not uniform or equal. In the first case 20, second case it is 17. Yes. In the third case it is, I think it's 14. Yes, 14 kilometers per hour. So in this case you call non-uniform acceleration. 3 types. In the first case, car was moving with 30 kilometers per hour. There is no change of velocity. The acceleration is 0. If the car is moving with uniform change in velocity, you call uniform acceleration. If the car is moving with non-uniform change in velocity, you call non-uniform acceleration. Remember these 3 terms. There is one more important thing which is very important for your exam. Try to remember, acceleration is the such physical quantity which can be positive, which can be negative, and it can be 0 also. Very, very, very important for any kind of exam. Acceleration can be positive, acceleration can be negative, acceleration can be 0. When it can be positive, when it can be negative, when it can be 0. These are very important, which we are going to see now. Yes, till now when we studied about distance, speed, velocity, this concept did not come because acceleration is the only physical quantity which can be positive, negative, and 0. I will tell you in which cases it will be positive. Yes. So yes. Did anyone stop me? No, right? Okay. So I'll give you one example. When will be acceleration be positive? Yes, we'll take the same car. It was moving with 10 kilometers per hour. I'll put it in this way. It will be more easy, I think. Yes. Next it has moved with 20 kilometers per hour. It might be uniform or non-uniform. It doesn't matter for us. Next case, it was 37 kilometers per hour. Next, it was 65 kilometers per hour. Now, the change in velocity. No, velocity is changing. It is changing uniformly or non-uniformly. Don't bother now. Yes, velocity is changing 10 to 20, 20 to 37, 37 to 45. But velocity is increasing with time. You are getting my point. Velocity is continuously changing. Velocity is increasing with time. Yes, you can see increase in velocity with time. In that cases, you can say acceleration is positive. When the change in velocity is going in a positive direction, or when the velocity is increasing regularly with time, you call it positive acceleration. Any doubt, please ask me. You can stop me now. Yes, the simple thing is velocity increase with time. Yes,
Ma'am, I cannot understand this one now. The last 3 terms you said, ma'am, in what does this category fall in?
Shivala, repeat your question.
Ma'am, the last 3 terms you explained.
Positive, negative, and 0 acceleration.
Before that, ma'am, the uniform, non-uniform ones.
For you. Once again, try to understand. Yes, if the velocity is increasing with time, if the change in velocity is increasing with time, this car is going, Yes, initially it was 10, later it was 20, 37, 65. So velocity is increasing or decreasing, Shafal? You tell me. With time, is velocity increasing or decreasing?
Increasing.
Simple. If the velocity is increasing with time, means the car is picking up speed. The car is picking up speed and it is getting accelerated, and this acceleration is going in a positive direction because velocity is increasing. Whenever you are accelerating your car, applying more pressure, increasing the velocity, and change in velocity is making the car move faster. Yes, change in velocity is increasing with time. You call it positive acceleration. I'll tell you negative, then you'll understand the difference. That will be more easy now. Take one more example here. Yes, car was moving with a velocity of 69 kilometers per hour initially. Okay, in the first hour it was 69 kilometers per hour. Yes, in the first hour of your journey, the car's velocity was 69 kilometers per hour. In the second hour, you got tired. Yes, you got tired. Yes, driving, so you can't drive with that enthusiasm. So the velocity of the car has decreased to 53 kilometers per hour. Yes, as it is summer, you got exhausted. Yes, the velocity again came down to 41 kilometers per hour. Change in velocity is decreasing with time. This you call it as negative acceleration. Yes, velocity, the change in velocity, yes, the change in velocity is decreasing with time. These cases you call as negative acceleration. Velocity is decreasing with time. Simple example. In the first case, he was very active. Yes, he was driving very actively. The change in velocity was increasing with time. In the second case, he got tired. Yes, so the change in velocity kept on decreasing with time. This negative can again become positive. Yes, if this man takes a glass of lemon juice, he gets hydrated again he starts driving. This can go to positive also. Again, the velocity might increase. Yes, that might happen. But till now, it is negative acceleration only because the velocity is decreasing with time. Clear positive and negative?
So when we take out the velocity of these three values, we'll get it in minus.
You will definitely have to get it in minus because retardation, negative acceleration, you also call it as retardation, and negative acceleration is always in negative. So other name, don't get confused. Other name for negative acceleration is your retardation. Okay? I think if anyone has done the worksheets, I have given this type of question where I used the word retardation. That is the reason I always tell you, please do the worksheets regularly. I gave you numerical based on retardation concept. If you didn't see, please go back to that worksheet and see. Yes. So now coming to zero acceleration. Now you people will. I'll ask.
Ma'am, there is uniform motion, ma'am.
Okay. Yes, you already answered. Okay, tell now.
Ma'am,
Ma'am, there is uniform motion.
ma'am, when there is no change in the velocity, then
That
the
is uniform motion.
The car has started with 10 kilometers per hour. Till it is reaching Bangalore, it is going at 10 kilometers per hour only.
And I'm going at same speed.
They are going at same
so
speed.
no velocity change. Right?
Yeah, okay. So now, till you reach your destination, you are maintaining the same velocity. Till you are reaching the destination, you are driving at a speed of 50 kilometers per hour. Till you reach from Hyderabad to Bangalore, you are maintaining the same velocity. Then you say acceleration is zero, which is impossible in regular cases. Is it possible? No, I can't say impossible, but practically not that possible. Yes. So this is your very important concept of acceleration can be positive, negative, and zero. And these are the cases where your acceleration can be positive, negative, and zero.
Ma'am, I have a doubt, ma'am.
Yes, ask the brother.
Ma'am, what happens when the velocity changes at first to a higher quantity in the given time and then it again decreases, ma'am? Which category will it come under?
Which category okay. Aparajita, that's what I'm saying. It is not always possible and it is impossible for a body to be in regular positive acceleration or regular negative acceleration. That is the reason you take it in a time interval, right? In that particular time interval, what is the acceleration? So now you are asking, so for example, you want to say when it is both positive and negative, how will you take it?
Yes, ma'am.
Is your question, Aparajita?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'll take a small example now and I'll tell you. Wait. Okay. So apply the in your journey. Yes, you want to you are traveling approximately 90 kilometers. We imagine to reach your destination. Yes, to reach
Yes,
your
ma'am.
you are traveling a particular quantity. So then what you will do? Then comes your concept of average acceleration, Aparita. Because in your journey of 90 kilometers, it is not possible that you always travel with positive acceleration and you always travel with negative acceleration. Then what you will do? In the different time intervals, you will be having positive or negative, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Same concept again you will apply. Sum of all the changes in velocity divided by time. You will be calculating the average acceleration there. Same as you do for other cases. Because
Okay, ma'am.
acceleration is regularly changing, you have to go for the average then. Yes?
Yes.
Then if you take the average, in most of the cases, if your car has positive acceleration, then your answer will be little positive. Yes, then you will go for average acceleration of that particular vehicle. Yes, but luckily for your syllabus, he is not going up to average acceleration. He has only stopped up to acceleration. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I'll try to give one question regarding that also. I'll add it in the worksheet.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
That type of concept also, it will not come, but be clear with that concept also. I'll add few numericals based on average acceleration also. Now coming to the formula of acceleration, I think you should be knowing the formula of acceleration till now. Yes, what is the formula of acceleration?
V minus U
U
by
by
T.
V minus U by T. V will be your final velocity, very important. U will be your initial velocity. Yes. So how can you determine what is the initial velocity and the final velocity? I told you very clearly in the question, if he has given the body has started from rest, then always your initial velocity will be 0. Whenever the body is starting from rest means it is starting from rest. So it doesn't have any initial velocity. If in the question he mentions the body has started from rest, then always your initial velocity will be 0. He didn't mention that. He didn't mention that the body is starting from rest. Then what you will do? Then the information he give will be in this way. The body has started, a car has started its journey with a velocity of 30 kilometers per hour and reached its destination. Then its velocity was 50 kilometers per hour. In this case, the initial velocity is not 0 because he has already mentioned you the initial velocity. So 30 kilometers per hour will be your initial velocity. 50 will be your final velocity. Please don't write on the board, please. Yes, and the time taken. If he has given the time taken, then you will take the time taken. He has to give the time taken. There is no other option. Then your answer will be V minus U by T. That is equal to 50 minus 30 divided by, I didn't give the time. Let's take it half hour.
Ma'am, but it is saying 30 kilometers per hour, no, ma'am.
Yes, yes.
It will be 1 hour. It's saying 30 kilometers per hour and 50 kilometers per hour. It should be 1 hour, so 2 hours.
Please don't write on the board. Please, who is writing? Yes. Okay. Shefali, whenever the question says the body is traveling with 50 kilometers per hour, yes, it is traveling at a velocity of 30 kilometers per hour for 30 minutes. You are getting my point. This is your speedometer value, which is calculated only per hour. So that will be giving you per hour, but you are traveling at 30 kilometers per hour for 10 minutes. You are traveling at 30 kilometers per hour for 15 minutes. Yes. So it doesn't mean 30 kilometers per hour. If he has given it, doesn't mean this you will take per hour. No. His speed is 30 kilometers per hour for certain time. Yes. If the body has started at a speed of 30 kilometers per hour, yes, and it has reached the destination, then the velocity is 50 kilometers per hour. To travel this, how much time is taken, that will be your time. Okay, if it has taken 30 seconds, you will be taking 30 seconds only. Yes, 30 kilometers per hour, 50 kilometers per hour is the speedometer calculation for the vehicle. And speedometer units, if he asks you, it is kilometers per hour. You will never write meters per second. Yes, the standard measurement for speedometer is always kilometers per hour only. Very important. Make a note. Okay.
So, ma'am, if suppose they haven't given the time to us, ma'am, we have to take 1/2.
No, brother, they will give.
Okay, ma'am.
They have to give. If they didn't give, there is no question of answering that type of question. Yes, he has to give the time taken. He has to give. Okay, he will give also, no problem. Only confusion, Aparajita, he will confuse you only in one way. Yes, the only thing is if he says the body is starting from rest, then you will take initial velocity is 0. Only that will be the complication here. Okay. Yeah. When will be the final velocity be 0? I told you in the previous class. If you are throwing your ball into the air, where you can't exactly calculate the final velocity of that vehicle, then its final velocity will be 0. Yes, but most of the questions you have your initial velocity only 0. Final velocity taking as 0, your questions will not go to up that level. Okay. If he gives also, you can answer. If the body is going in an indefinite direction where you don't know the final point exactly and the velocity at that point, then you take your final velocity as 0. But in the normal cases, when we say car is traveling, bike is traveling, in that you have to know the final velocity. Yes, there is no question you can't know the final velocity because everything you have it in digital meters. So everything is there. So this is about your acceleration. I'm going to share some more questions on acceleration, but this time my main focus will be on questions about your graphs only. Yes, very, very important concept. Your graphs is very easy, very tricky. You need to understand little tricks while solving the graphs. That is the only thing, because at 9th grade level, how much you have to know, it's better to know little more than that, so that the concept will be very clear before going to graphical representation of motion. Before going to graphical representation of motion, I want to ask you something. Why are we learning graphical representation of motion? We have formulae, we have many formulae to calculate. Why should we go for graphical representation of motion? I want answer. Why should we learn? Why should we draw graph actually? What is the need? Why do we draw graphs?
To show the movement, like the, what do we say, the accurate or a graphical movement.
Okay. Okay, Shefal, I'll take some more answers. Divya, unmute and answer. Why do we draw graphs?
Ma'am, like to show not just like numbers, you can even show like in an easier manner, like the motion and the acceleration.
Okay, Divya, unmute. Okay, mute yourself. Arbas, unmute and answer. Why do we need graphs? Why should we draw graphs here?
To represent some standard
Ma'am, so
data
that
which we have.
Okay.
Ma'am, so that we can accurately represent the data.
You can accurately represent the data. Very good. Very good, Arbas. Mute yourself. So what exactly is happening here? As Arbas said, you can accurately interpret the data. So how can you accurately interpret the data using graphs? You will tell me after I explain you the graphs. You will tell me what is the advantage of learning of all these graphs after I explain you what exactly these graphs represent. So graphical representation of motion, whenever I'm drawing graphs, now one of you will tell me what are the basic things we use in the graph. So you will answer me now but there are very good math students in the group. I'll pick one and ask. Okay? Ishita, unmute. Ishita? Ishita, are you there? Please don't draw on the screen. I'll take one more. Ishita, are you there? Okay. Okay. Sankrishna? Anyone, Aditya, any one of you can answer me. What are the basic requirements of a graph? I want to draw a graph now. What should I have?
There's an x-axis and a
Ma'am, there's an
y-axis.
x-axis and y-axis.
Very good. Simple.
We need a proper scale.
Yeah, you need a proper scale. You need a. Okay, Latisha, coming to that point, you will tell me something now. Latisha, unmute yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
Latisha, I will be asking you will be answering me.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, they say, please don't draw, please. I'll take.
To take the quantities properly in the scale also.
Latisha, wait, Latisha. No. You keep yourself unmute. I'll be asking you something. Okay, keep yourself unmute. Okay, now they said me we should have a y-axis, we should have a x-axis. This is clear to me. Now I'm learning graphs. Even I don't know. Tell me now. Okay, Latisha. Okay, I drew the graph. Now what should I do?
Ma'am, we have to mark both the points and
Okay, there should be
the
some
places, and we need to have a proper scale while actually drawing the marks because it has to be proportional to each other.
It has to be proportional to each other. So no, I have to draw. I want a graph for distance and time, Leticia. Okay. So I should assign, right? I should assign x-axis for one physical quantity and y-axis for one physical quantity here. How can I choose now? I have my physical quantities, distance and time. No, I am in a confusion that should I give distance x-axis or y-axis? How can I overcome this confusion? You tell me. Can you tell me? No, I have a doubt that I have distance and time. What should I take on x-axis? What should I take on y-axis? How can I decide on that? Anyone can answer.
We should take this x-axis, ma'am, because distance is more and time we'll take as y-axis.
No, ma'am. Time should be x-axis because it's always constant and it keeps moving, even when the distance is not increasing.
Kani, come again, Kani.
Ma'am, the time should be on the x-axis because it's always constant and it will always keep going.
Okay.
And distance should be on the y-axis because it can stop in between.
Very good. Kani, superb answer, Kani. Yes, what Kani is trying to say here is time will keep on moving. You can't stop time. You don't have the power to stop time. It is, what is the time now? It is 9:33 now. Even though we stop play, even though we stop our work, the time will not stop. Yes, the time is continuous. The time is in continuous motion. Time keeps moving. That is the reason the most standard quantities will always be going on x-axis. Time will be continuously moving. It is not compulsory that the body's distance will regularly change. It is not compulsory that the body will regularly change its position. So that is the reason we are taking time on x-axis. In any graph, time will always be on x-axis, and your variable quantities like your distance, velocity will always be going on y-axis. Yes, we prefer to take non-variable quantities on x-axis, and variable quantities will always be going on y-axis. In any graph, in any motion graph, time will always be on x-axis only. Clear? Now coming to one. Kani, unmute Kani 1 second.
Yes, ma'am.
Kani, then what about slope here?
What, ma'am?
Slope.
I don't know.
Okay, I start now then. Okay, let's stop here. So first type of graph which we are going to understand here is distance time graph. In distance time graph, we are going to take distance on y-axis and time on t-axis. Clear? Now I'll ask a simple question. Okay, you tell me now. Okay, if I know in this graph, what can I know? In this graph, I'm taking time and distance on both the axes. What can I find out from this graph?
Speed. The speed.
Speed. Whenever you know distance and time, ultimately you can find out the speed because speed is equal to distance by time. Yes, so in the distance time graph, ultimately you can find out speed. So if you have to find out speed, you should have some data so that I can plot a graph here. I will be taking my own data. I'll be taking a table and I'll be taking my own data and I'm going to plot a graph for distance and time. So now what I'm going to do is, wait 1 second. Yeah. Okay. Yes. So I'm going to divide this into two categories. First, we are going to see distance time graph for uniform speed. Whenever I say I'm going to draw a distance time graph for uniform speed means what? Yes, the body is moving at a uniform speed. Means what? Yes.
But the body has some uniform speed. That means like 1 hour it only travels at least 50 kilometers.
Okay. So in the next hour also it is going to travel 15 kilometers. Yes. Can I say the body is in uniform motion? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Distance time graph for uniform speed means you are drawing distance time graph for a body which is in uniform motion, because the body is covering equal distance in equal intervals of time. Very, very, very important. distance time graph for uniform speed means the body is covering equal distances in equal intervals of time. Yes, in the first interval, if it is covering 50 meters, same in all the intervals. In this, you can even call it as uniform motion. Body is covering same distance in the particular same intervals of time. This graph you can also call distance time graph for uniform motion. Now I have taken some data here. Yes, here I am taking time in hour. Yes, I am taking distance in kilometers. Now when I take, so for 1 hour my body has traveled 50 kilometers. Yes, for the next hour my body has traveled 100 kilometers. For the next hour, my body has traveled 150 kilometers. For the next hour, my body has traveled 200 kilometers. Perfect graph for uniform motion. The body is covering 50 kilometers for every time interval of 1 hour. Clear with this statement? The body is covering equal distance of 50. The difference is 50 in all the cases. Yes. So body is covering 50 kilometers equal distance in equal interval of 1 hour. Time taken is 1 hour, distance traveled is 50 kilometers. In the second case also, time taken is 1 hour, distance traveled is 50 kilometers. So this is a graph for uniform motion where the body is moving with uniform speed. Please don't draw, please. Who is drawing? Okay, wait, I'll take it again. So clear with this, do you agree that the body is moving with uniform motion here?
Yes.
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
so next point, what you have to understand is very, very important point. When he is asking any MCQ, what he will do is, now, if this is your graph, this you call it as your slope. Now, what is this slope? I'll explain you in very, very, very detail. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is, so you have plotted a graph. You have plotted a graph for distance and time. Who is drawing? Please don't draw. Please don't touch the screen. Please don't touch. Okay. So I'm going to tell slope is equal to. Can you see with this color, or shall I take some other color?
Ma'am, can you take some other color?
Yeah, I take some other color. It's better, I think. I'll go with red. Okay. Okay. So now slope is equal to, try to understand, when slope is equal to y-axis divided by x-axis. Yes, slope is equal to y-axis divided by x-axis. Now, a simple thing please don't write on the screen. This is the last time I'm warning you, whoever is doing that. Please. Yes, slope is equal to.
What do you mean by slope? Like,
yes, I'll tell you, dear. Please, 1 second. No, I'm not able to write properly because someone who is touching the screen. No, whoever is doing this, they will teach the class somehow. Please stop doing that. Okay.
Mom, just explain it without writing, mom. It's fine.
Aprita, no, I want to show you the things because they have to stop it, right? We can't stop doing this for them. It will not be good also, right? So, okay. Okay. So, someone asked me what is slope. I'll exactly tell you what is slope for any type of graph. Slope is equal to y-axis divided by x-axis means you are 1 second. Yeah. Yes. So this is called your slope. Whenever you are taking two types of quantities on x-axis and y-axis and drawing a graph So this graph, this which is starting from the center, yes. So this you call it as slope of the graph. The line which is relating both the quantities you have taken in the graph will give you the slope of the graph. So always you can get the slope by dividing y-axis by x-axis. Now try to understand a small concept. Now my slope, this line, my slope will give me speed. Yes or no? Because this graph I'm drawing by taking distance and time, my slope has to give me speed. So very, very important point, distance time graph for uniform speed. In this, the slope of the graph is the indication of your speed. Now slope is speed, y-axis will be your distance because we have taken distance on y-axis, and x-axis will be your time. So slope is your speed, y-axis you have your distance, x-axis you have your time. Speed is equal to distance by time. Yes, now try to, is it clear? Whenever you're taking two quantities and drawing a line, that will indicate your slope. Now by taking distance and time, you are getting speed here. Yes, so slope will be your speed, y-axis will you are writing distance and time. Now coming to the question that, so in now I'll tell you something. Now I'm drawing a graph. I'm drawing a graph for two bodies. Here initially I have taken only one car. I'm taking one more car and I'm drawing one more line. Yes, and this is car A and this is car B. Now, yes, so the slope of the speed of car A is indicated by this line. The speed of car B is indicated by this line. This is very important question in any exam. So now you tell me, depending on this distance time graph, which body is having more speed, car A or B?
Ma'am, B.
Very good.
Car B, ma'am. Car B.
It's a very, very important question in any kind of competitive IIT or anything. Yes, whichever car is having more slope. When no, how can you say the body is having more slope? Yes, if it is making more angle with the x-axis, the angle made by car A slope is less, the angle made by the car B is more. Whenever the angle made from the x-axis is increasing, that means that the car is moving with more speed. Yes, the slope of the graph is more, the speed of the car is more. This is very important. He might give you any number of cars. He will give you A, B, C, D, and he will ask you which car is moving with more speed. The car which is having more slope will be traveling with more speed. Yes, this is very, very important point because he will be giving you many graphs and he will ask you these type of questions. Now, till now, any doubts? I know this is little different concept, but you have to understand this is very, very, very important. Any doubt till here?
No, ma'am.
Yes. Now coming to the thing, how can you calculate speed from this graph? We know we can easily determine which car is having more speed by looking at the slope. Yes, but our main motto of drawing any graph, is to know the speed between any two intervals. Yes, now how are we going to find out? Yes, now I ask you that what is the speed of the car at between the time interval 3 to 4. Yes, I am asking you, I want the speed of a car between 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. My question is that I am asking you, please try to find out the speed. I want a speed between 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Now, how can you, this is the advantage of your graph. I am asking you specifically, I want the speed from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. in the evening.
Is it 50 km?
50.
I know you have already got the answer. I know that. It is very easy to find out, but I want to tell them in process, how are you going to find out? So if I ask you this question, then what are you going to do? Because I'm asking you at 3, you will be drawing a line from here to here perpendicular. So again from here to here, you will be joining this line because I'm asking you at 3 p.m. So first you'll be drawing a line in this way. Next 3 to 4, right? So one more line, you are going to draw a perpendicular line from here to here. Yes, because I want from 3 to 4. Now what we have to do? I said speed is equal to, yes, speed is equal to distance by time. Yes, that is equal to y-axis divided by x-axis. Yes, so in this case, it is you have a very simple technique, y2 minus y1 divided by t2 minus t1. Yes, now what is this y2? Y2, y1 should be on y-axis. Yes, so this will be your y2, this will be your y1, this will be your t2, this will be your t1. Yes? Yes, now tell me what is the speed. Very easy to calculate, right? What is
Yes,
your
ma'am.
200 minus 150 divided by 4 minus 3, which comes to 50 by 1, that is equal to 50 kilometers per hour. Yes, this is the way you calculate the speed from the graph. Now I will give you one. So if I ask you, what is the speed between 1 hour? Yes, often one to do the same thing. You have to draw coordinates again in this way. The same thing. This will be your y2 now. This will be your y1 now. T2, T1. Yes, in this way the questions will be asked. Now, he will be in your exam, he will be giving you the graph, he will be asking you in this particular time what is the speed. Simple, y2 minus y1 divided by t2 minus t1. If he is asking between 1 and 2 also, the same thing. The bigger value will be giving, the top value will be y2, this will be your y1, t2, t1. Yes. So this you can also write in this way, delta y by delta t. You know what is delta? Yes, I'll tell you it. So for now, he didn't use the word delta, but try to understand that. I'll write it very clearly here. Slope is equal to y-axis divided by x-axis. This is very important. So here your slope is your speed. Speed is equal to y-axis distance by time. So if you want to write in terms of x-axis and y-axis, slope is equal to y2 minus y1 divided by t2 minus t1. Yes, this you can also write as delta y by delta t. Delta means simply the difference between two terms. You represent it as delta. You take anything, y3 minus y2 also, it will be delta t. Yes, when you are taking the difference between two terms, you call it as delta. Why I'm telling this? Because if in exam by chance if they use this delta, you should not be confused. Okay, so this is the way you calculate, interpret your graphs and you calculate. Now I'll be asking, I'll try to ask some questions based on this. Now you tell me. My first question is, in the
Ma'am, we have Hindi in 10 minutes, ma'am.
Okay, Abhay, I'll finish with this question.
We have it at 11 o'clock.
Hindi is
after
till
that.
11. Yesterday I sent the message.
I understand.
Then I am the one who is blind then.
Okay,
Definitely.
You need break of 5 minutes. I totally understand.
Can
But
you take the class for 45 minutes more?
Tarun,
Yeah, ma'am.
you said something.
Ma'am, can you take
you
the
take
class
it
for 1 hour or
for
45 minutes more?
Tarun, I have no problem. I can take for the whole day. But I can't. Next week I want to take two sessions. Is it okay with you? I'll ask Ananya ma'am regarding.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
All fine.
Answer.
Ma'am.
Okay, I'll take permission. No, if you have no problem with that, I'll speak to Ananya ma'am. Okay.
We don't have any problem.
Okay, done. Take the
How
most-
much ever you want, you take.
Thank you,
Ma'am,
sir.
I don't understand.
Ma'am, we are jobless at home anyways, ma'am. Nothing we have to do.
Something up like that. Samita?
Ma'am, I not understand anything about the delta thing.
At Delta, you leave it, Samita. It's unnecessary, Samita. Only for information I told. You can leave it. Okay? Don't worry. Delta is just the difference of any two terms. You take y2 minus y1, any terms you can, but leave about it, Samita. Don't make it complicated now. Okay? It is only competitive thing. If he anywhere he can put it. No, I'll finish with this question, right? Now there are three types of questions which might come from this topic is whenever you take distance time graph for uniform motion, what is your slope indicating here? Answer. What is your slope indicating in distance time graph?
Speed.
Speed, ma'am.
Uniform motion.
Yeah. So no. Whenever he asks what is the slope indicating here, then you have to go for speed only. Because speed is giving you if in the options you don't have speed, then also you can't go for uniform motion because slope might not be a straight line, right? Because now I'm talking about uniform motion, it is a straight line. Whenever I talk about non-uniform motion, it can be curved line. So never go for that answer. Slope in the distance time graph always indicates speed. Clear? Yes, okay, take rest for 10 minutes. Next week, I'll engage you for much time. So you have to bear with me. Clear?
Okay, ma'am.
Which
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
going
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
to send you more worksheets. Please solve them.
Please send, ma'am.
Yes,
good.
ma'am.
No, I'm trying to put more
Ma'am,
MCQs.
send. Ma'am, I've already completed the worksheet.
Very good, dear. And one more thing, I'm going to send the complete notes for the chapter motion tomorrow or day after. Okay, and I'll be
Thank
sending
you, ma'am.
file for graph topic. I'm going to send you a separate PDF only for graphs.
Ma'am, can you give us a question paper, ma'am?
What question paper are right?
Ma'am, all the MCQs and the questions and the answer, ma'am. We'll prepare that. We'll get full marks.
And I'll do one thing. I'll make a paper with 50 MCQs with answers and send you.
Yes, ma'am. That will be amazing, ma'am. Please.
Give me 2 to 3 days of time. I'll do that.
Ma'am, after we complete the portion, can we do the numericals?
Kani, we have to do the numericals, Kani.
Okay.
We have to do many numericals.
Numericals are very important in physics.
No, I want to.
I know, Shivang.
Very important. Yes, very important.
Physics is ultimately maths in science.
Yes. It's a hybrid variety of both maths and science. Okay. So we'll be doing many numericals. I want to do also many. Okay. So the main numerical part comes when you are doing equations of motion. Now do one thing. I'll be sending numericals on equations of motion also. They are simple substitution problems. Please try to solve. Okay.
Ma'am, just send equations on everything. Best.
I'll do that, Shram. So for graph, you'll be getting a material, study material, along with MCQs and questions. Badri, you are, will we have a half-yearly exam online? No, Badri, hopefully no. I want this lockdown to end soon and I want to see you people live in class and teach. So half-yearly most probably will not be online. Okay?
Ma'am, I have a question from average speed.
Yes, Tarun.
See, the question is, if a car moves at a speed of 40 kilometers per hour to reach a point A.
Okay.
And while coming back from point A, it moves at a speed of 25 kilometers per hour.
Okay.
So can we find the average speed in this question?
Yes, why can't?
Ma'am, can you show it how?
Okay, Dada, you tell me the data, I'll take a fresh screen. Okay?
Yeah.
If anyone wants to leave and get ready for Hindi, I have no problem, please.
Ma'am, 1 hour is there, ma'am.
Yeah. Tarun, tell me the data once again.
Yeah, ma'am. A car moves from point B, from point A at 40 kilometers per hour.
Point A to B.
Yeah, at 40 kilometers per hour.
Okay, 40 kilometers per hour.
Yeah, and while coming back from B to A, it moves at 25 kilometers per hour.
So what is he asking now then? Average speed?
Yeah.
Okay. Tarun, no, before going to this, I want to ask you something. What did you feel complicated here?
Ma'am, see, ma'am. One thing. One minute.
No, if you generally want to calculate average speed, what you will do?
Ma'am, generally, if we calculate the total distance by total time.
Okay,
Okay.
Complete. Okay. So now, 40 kilometers per hour plus 25 kilometers per hour divided by 2. Tarun, that's what I said in the previous class. If we didn't specify the distance traveled and time separately, just add the speeds and divide it by the number of quantities. Done.
Okay, ma'am.
Tarun, you're getting it. If he mentions distance and time, then go for that formula. But if he didn't mention distance and time, if he is just giving the speed, yes, then from A to B is one journey, Tarun. From B to A is other journey.
Yeah.
Just add the speeds and divide with the number of quantities, number of journeys. A to B one journey, B to A one more journey, done. 65 divided by 2, you got your answer. That's it.
Ma'am, 32.5 kilometers per hour.
So much, 32.5. That's it, 32.5 kilometers per hour is the average speed of this car. Tarun, very good question, Tarun.
Yeah, thanks.
Right? I think I gave this pattern question also.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a simple way to, it is very easy. Instead of that type of question, these questions are only easy. Okay, done. We'll close for the day. Take care. Practice.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
I don't say read.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you,
Thank
ma'am.
you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.